What do you do when you finish work? This was a really good question that I was asked personally by a friend, um, he's got a business as well, and we were discussing the kind of our kind of working hours. He was saying, he runs a studio as well. He was saying, he works he does his day's work, and then he goes home and he finishes work. He finishes work after he's finished work, and he goes home and he has his home life. And I was like, how is that? That sounds lovely to be able to finish work and actually just switch off. That would be lovely. Um, and what I was just like, that's not what I do. So he was like, well, what time do you finish work? I was like, I don't. Like, we both own businesses. We both run studios that are our own businesses. Um, and I was just like, well, I don't finish work. Like, I never say that I'm now finished work. I don't physically finish. Um, because even though I'm technically not at the studio, I'm still working. I'm constantly working. Um, so I don't necessarily finish. I'm constantly. The thing is you've got your phone. You know, it's constantly on. It's next to you. Emails come through, and I don't like to see an email come in and be like, right, I'll answer that in the morning. If it's an inquiry, if it's anything to do with work, if it's a question that needs answering, because I've got my phone there, it's bang, email sent back. And the reason for that is that, think of it like this, is that, say for argument's sake, we've got my mate on one hand and there's me on the other hand. We both get sent the same email by the same client who wants the same work done. He gets back to him. It's sent at, let's say, 11 o'clock at night. He gets back to him at 11 o'clock the next day. 12 hours later, I get back to him and have a full-blown conversation with him via email for an hour at 11 o'clock at night. By 12 o'clock, he's placed the order. He gets back to him at 11 o'clock the next day and goes, yeah, we can do that. And he goes, I've already gone with these guys. That is why I'm always working, because if you aren't, you could miss a boat at some point. The other thing is if you look at so some people, they follow on Instagram and YouTube, and they follow people who, celebrities, blah blah blah, public influencers, all these different people, and that's perfectly fine. But that's not who I follow. I follow people who are influential, people who, businessmen, not necessarily just in audio, but businessmen in industry, because they talk so much sense. And I like, why do I need to know what this celebrity's had for breakfast, or something that's so irrelevant? But I'd love to know how, I don't know, someone like Bill Gates, an inspirational speech that's going to be really kind of, I'm going to look at something and go, okay, yeah, and then I'll think of that in my own interpretation that works with my business. So I'll take something from that. And there's multiple things that I can watch online, or see a post and things like that, and I'll look at it and I'll take so much from it. So even after work, after finishing at the studio, I'm still constantly doing something. my general day, I like to get home from work and I like to be with my family until they kind of go to sleep. As soon as they go to sleep, I'm back working. If you are not right, so basically, once they go off to bed, I'm back on the laptop. I'm writing emails. I'm editing video like this. I'm doing content for the website. I'm looking at SEO. I'm looking at analytics. I'm building adverts. I am creating video. There's all sorts of things that you can do, and and that's partly why we are a very successful company. It is because of not only just because we're good at what we do and we've got really good equipment to be able to do that, but it's also because of the work ethic that you look at someone like the big guys in industry, the big, the big company owners. They're not just there working the hours they have to work. They work because they are addicted to work. You look at any of these big business people and they work, and normal people who work for them cannot understand how the business owners just work and work and work and work. And it's because, I tell you why, it's because they love work. It's like me, I love work. Like, I would just, I love doing what I do. But when I'm not working, if I've got 5 minutes that I'm just sitting there, I want to be working. And that's something that not everybody has. Like, how many of you get home from work after a day's work and like, I want to go back to work? You don't. Majority of people, 99.9% of people don't want to do that. And that's why it's difficult for those sorts of people to have businesses, because they don't eat, breathe, sleep the business. And they have a slightly different work ethic to the people that will make a success of business.